Are you satisfied with what the FAA has announced in terms of grounding, and what more needs to be done?
Well, look, like you said, I'm an expert in financial service matters, but I've followed this closely because of the national safety implications and international safety implications. But I think the FAA did do the right thing. We want to know that the technology systems on this series of Boeing jets is the best. And they're going to be able to quickly remedy this from all accounts, and I think it was right to ground the planes.
Congressman, it wasn't just Boeing that has faced pressure in Washington this week. Wells Fargo, in particular, a question that you asked to the CEO of Wells Fargo, really getting a lot of attention. You were asking whether or not this situation with Wells Fargo would be put behind them. And CEO Tim Sloan, well, he said that he can't control the media. What was your response? What do you think now that you've had time to sort of take a step back from that hearing? What did you gather of new information in terms of where Wells Fargo goes from here?
Well, it's clear to me that while Tim Sloan wasn't the CEO that oversaw the wrongdoing to their customers, he is responsible for fixing this and cleaning it up. He's had 2.5 years as CEO to make the changes necessary, and I think he's making the right steps. They've been fined by every federal regulator that oversees them. On a daily and weekly basis, they have I would say roughly 100 regulators that are in their bank. Yet, how we found out about this exposure to the bank was via the press. So this shows a regulatory failing, meaning the regulators that are on the job failed to see this bad action. And in fact, the press here was a very useful, powerful tool to write a large organization in their wrongdoing. So I think that oversight is important and good and necessary. It's not just about bad coverage, it's about getting real results for their customers and for the American people.
Yeah, you mentioned the headline risk. You mentioned that bombshell reporting from now several years ago from the Los Angeles Times, which first broke this crucial consumer story. But from your perspective, has Mr. Sloan corrected the course? Is Wells Fargo transforming at the speed that it needs to win back not just shareholders' trust, but consumers? Well,
that is to be seen. His performance going forward is going to dictate that answer. We're watching them closely. I think it was important and necessary for us to have this hearing. You heard bipartisan criticism for the actions of Wells Fargo and their slowness in responding, and the unprecedented action that the Federal Reserve took to cap Wells Fargo's growth is a clear sign that they're not yet complying fully with their regulators. So we're going to watch them closely and make sure that this doesn't have a larger consequence for the financial markets.
Switching gears now in the international community, you're calling on House Financial Services Committee Chairwoman Maxine Waters to hold hearings on Brexit. Right. What would you like to see the House Financial Services Committee look into with particular regards to Brexit and its impact on Americans?
Well, first, we need to make sure that if there's a hard Brexit, we are prepared. Our American regulators are prepared, that our financial markets are prepared. And if you want to think of this in terms of the international plumbing of the financial system, with London and New York being the biggest drivers in the financial markets globally, we want to make sure that connectivity is ready to go if there's a hard Brexit. We want that assurance. So I think those are the types of things that our committee should be focused on to make sure that all of our prudential regulators are doing the right thing to ensure that the day after, the moment after a hard Brexit, that the choppy waters of the market are not exacerbated by failures of the plumbing of the international financial system. Those are the assurances we want to give people in the market. Those are the assurances we want to give to the American people.
Are you optimistic that there'll be hearings on Brexit?
I'm hopeful. I'm in the minority in the House, so being hopeful and optimistic are two different things.